The agency project was originally put together in response to the European Commission's call that took, which was interpreted in the UK, calling for ESF international, transnational projects that related to demographic change. Now, our conception of that was that demographic change as an issue had a number of different components, a number of different strands. And we had already established quite a lot of partnership activities in the Northwest. And what happened was that we brought together a lot of those partners to discuss what it was that they wanted to do. In order to look at creating a project which didn't so much respond to the needs of beneficiaries as identify those areas which needed to be responded to, the changes that needed to take place, in order for a more positive position for over 50s in the labour market to come about. We identified basically that there were three strands in that. There was a strand which was around the attitudes and behaviours of individuals, be they individuals in employment or individuals who are unemployed. They needed support, particularly in understanding how best they could change their attitudes and behaviour to take advantage of technology in particular in order to stay within the workforce. It's no secret that the over 50s get less training than any other group within the population. But one of the reasons for that is because employers don't put them forward for it and they don't themselves opt to do it. So the first strand was the individuals. The second strand was employers. How do we get employers to actually realise what a value the over 50s are within their workforce? So one of our strands looks at that. And the third element in it was, what do we do to change the attitude of agencies to make them more supportive for the over 50s? Now, those agencies could be education, for example. There is practically no training available specifically targeted at over 50s. They're very lucky if they get any look in at all. It could equally be the agencies that are dealing with the unemployed. Are they being sufficiently flexible? Are they bringing in sufficient in the way of support agencies and mechanisms? So there were three different strands. And we thought that if we could address those strands, we had the beginnings of some answers to the issues which were confronting us, and which basically we were responding to through a research project designed as a change agency project. Each of the strands of the project is designed to test, to prove a point. To look at what the barriers are, look at what the solutions might be. And the success of the project will really be whether any of these barriers can be removed and any of the changes can be implemented so that we can actually bring more over 50s into employment and maintain the over 50s who are low skilled in their jobs, potentially making a bigger contribution to their employers.